Everybody needs good neighbors with a little understanding. You can find the perfect blend. Neighbors should be there for one another. That's when good neighbors become good friends.
Peace offering.
Looks delicious.
Come on, before it gets cold.
Should have let me do it.
Come on, I love fussing over you.
You put me out of a job.
I'm sure you got plenty to do while I'm away.
I made some curtains.
Oh, yeah, no, they're really great. They're nice, Terry.
It's about all I had to do while you're away. Anyway, how was Singapore?
Flat out.
Did you see any nice places?
Come on, I've hardly got time to sleep, let alone sightsee. Job's not all it's cracked up to be, you know.
It's a shame you have to work that hard, really. Maybe we could both spend more time together if we both worked part-time.
What are you bringing that up for again, Terry?
I've been talking to Bess and she said she worked all her life and she brought your dad up as well.
Well, maybe you should talk to Dad if you think it's so great.
She did her best. It couldn't have been very easy for her.
And you should be grateful that you don't have to do the same thing.
Grateful? I get lonely by myself. We're just making ends meet.
I beg your pardon?
Bess said I should listen to you and listen to your point of view. Well, I have, and as far as I can see, it's all one way, yours.
I talk to you?
Yeah, but you don't listen. You tell me what you want to do and then you expect me just to go along with it.
You say I'm not good enough for you?
When I was working, I felt like I had something to live for. I'd get up in the morning, I'd talk to Des or Daphne, have my morning spat with Max, and then I'd get on with working.
Cleaning out sewers.
I trained hard to get a trade, Paul, and I can earn a lot more than what you can.
Nana Robinson must have really gotten to you. I don't know how you can even listen to her.
I'm sorry?
Look, she didn't bring Dad up properly. I thought after your life with Gordon you'd appreciate what I have to offer you.
I do, Paul.
No, you don't. I come home for a few hours to what should be my happy wife, and instead I get more whinging and whining from you than I do from my passengers.
Where are you going?
Over to see Dad.
I'm so glad you kept up your painting, Helen.
Hasn't been easy.
Well, it proves that women's lib isn't just for the young. I mean, we've been through the lot. The Depression, the war, and it's given us great strength of character.
You mean all that suffering was good for us?
Well, in a way, yes, it's made us what we are, strong women with minds of our own.
Is that what you're trying to turn Terry into, Nana?
Oh, that's not the way to greet your grandmother.
Hello. My goodness, you've grown.
Life process, I suppose. Is Dad in, Gran?
Yes, he is.
I'll see you later, Nana.
He's not normally like that, Bess. He's usually such a polite boy.
Oh, well, I guess he's just a little tired. Goodness, his job must give him permanent jet lag.
Still, please, Bess.
Oh, sorry. Not the best way to renew a relationship, is it?
You haven't been putting ideas into Terry's head, have you?
None that weren't already there, I presume. I've just brought it out into the open.
Well, on the subject of Terry's working again, I'm afraid Paul's rather old-fashioned.
As stubborn and pig-headed as his father.
Yes, he reminds me of Jim. Before Anne had a quiet word to him.
Well, maybe Jim can sort this out. Now, I want to hear all about this new charming man of yours.
They have big mouths, our grandchildren. You'll meet him later.
Good. Oh, well, in that case, I think I'd better go and put some makeup on extra thickly.
Not yet. I want you on canvas exactly the way you are.
Then Graham and Jude and a few more of us went down to the Change Alley markets, then we went to the Tiger Balm Gardens. It's fantastic there.
It must have been a relief to get home to some peace and quiet.
I thought it was more peaceful in Singapore, actually. No, Terry seems to be conducting this one-man war against me.
That doesn't sound too good. What's it about?
No, it's silly, Will. I just wish Nana had mind her own business. Well, you know what she's like. She's your mother.
Oh, Mum doesn't interfere. Well, not intentionally, anyway.
Look, I know she's all for this women's liberation and equal rights.
Hang on,
business.
just stop. What are you talking about?
Well, Terry was perfectly happy with things the way they were until Nana started talking to her, and now she's back on about working again.
Yeah, well, Mum and I don't always see eye to eye on everything. And I agree with you. You're away a lot of the time, so it's understandable that you and Terry want to spend as much time as possible together.
You take today, for example. I mean, I'm only home for a few hours, and if Terry was out working, I wouldn't get to see her at all.
Yeah, I know, but maybe you ought to think about it getting a part-time job, one that fits in with your schedule.
I don't see why she has to work at all. There's no need. You know what I'd like you to do for me, Dad?
Right away.
Ask Nana to stop telling Terry how to run her life and mine.
She's a terrific person, Paul.
I didn't say she wasn't, Scott.
Oh, she's done more with her life than you ever will.
Now, hang on, Scott. Don't make judgments until you know the whole story.
Well, I ought to know what she's done. I had to write my essay about her. I had to write about the most interesting person I know, so I decided to write about Bess and her adventures.
See you, mate.
Listen, I'll have a talk to Mum before I go to work, OK?
Thanks, Dad.
In the meantime, I think you ought to go back and see Terry. Tell her you love her.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm just going to go and get some more junk out of my room.
Hello, Mum. I'm just off to work.
Oh, well, I'll see you tonight, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, Mum, I don't know how to say this except straight out.
Yes, all right. Paul warns me to stop putting ideas into Terry's head in case it lifts her above her station in life.
Mum, you know better than that.
The girl is desperately lonely, Jim. I'm not interfering. I'm just keeping her company.
We all want what is best for Paul and Terry, Mum. But I think it's better if we just let them sort out their personal problems by themselves.
It seems that my advice to Terry has been a little misconstrued.
Then perhaps it would be better to give no advice at all. And look, I must fly. I'm running late. I'll see you tonight.
Seems my son can only take me in small doses.
I'm not going to stop in case I can't get this together again.
Oh, when will that be?
No, not long.
I'll still be here.
Great. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, well, my grandson seems to be treating me in the same manner as his father. Perhaps I'd better go over and talk to them both.
Ah, then you'll miss out on meeting Douglas.
What's he like?
He's very nice.
Is he married?
No. It's not like that.
Well, then, I think you should make it like that. Well, what if Jim remarries? What's going to happen to you?
Well, it'll just be me and my budgie in the spare room.
No, it's no joking matter, Helen. The world is full of lonely people whose children have grown up and got married and they're left to rot in a back room of a boarding house, neglected and forgotten. I've seen it happen.
It's not likely to happen to me.
Not unless you look after yourself first.
Douglas and I are just good friends.
Do you get on well?
Beautifully.
Then, my dear, if he proposes to you, go for it.
I won't stay too long. If I cool down, I'll never warm up again.
I don't mind, I'm just glad someone's here.
What happened?
I had an accident.
Well, I can see that. Well, I guess it's easy to do.
We had a fight.
It's a bit early on in the piece to be doing this to each other, isn't it?
I did that after he left. Nothing seems to be working out the way I thought it would.
Come on, sit down. I bet it's not as bad as it seems. You're back here in a few seconds thinking how wonderful everything is. Well, making up's half the fun.
I just hate being by myself. I like to have people around me.
Well, I'll come round more often.
If I had a job, it wouldn't be so bad. I wouldn't be stuck here all the
Well,
time.
there's not much point in talking about it now, especially if things are as rough as this.
I guess I'm just not very good at confrontations.
Yeah. I always think of what I should have said 2 hours later. It's always witty and crushing and what I should have said.
Thanks for coming over, Daphne. I don't want you to get too cold.
It's okay. I'll come again very soon, okay?
Thanks.
Chin up.
Oh, hi, Daph.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there.
Oh, hi, Paul. How are you? Oh, I'm great, thanks, Daph. How are you?
Hi, Terry. How are you? Very unhappy, very sad, and so lonely I could cry.
What'd she tell you?
Nothing much. She didn't have to. Paul, what are you trying to do to her?
I'm sorry, we had a bit of a fight, okay?
I'm not the one you should be apologising to.
I don't see what's the matter with her. You'd think she'd be happy to see me after being away for 3 days.
While you're away, you've got people around you.
Yeah, but I work hard.
I know you do. For heaven's sake, all she's got to do is the housework. Then what's she supposed to do? Talk to the floorboards?
She's got everything she needs.
She hasn't got any friends or work. And most of the time, she hasn't got you. I'll see you later.
You're running a bit late for work now, aren't you?
Yeah, it was time I was going.
What time will you be home?
Oh, I don't know, about 6, I suppose.
I'll miss you.
Honey. So why don't you and Daphne go and have lunch today, eh?
Thanks, we might.
See you soon.
Take care.
You too, darling.
These are really very good, Helen.
Ah, not bad for an amateur. Oh, I'm glad to have your opinion, Bess. If I ask anyone around here, all I get is criticism, and I'm not very good at taking it, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know what you mean. You know, after you've cleaned the house and done the shopping and got the lunch and found a little bit of time to do something for yourself, all you don't need is somebody to come in and say, it's a little bit out of perspective, isn't it? You think to yourself, why couldn't they have lied? I've just cooked the dinner.
That's exactly how I feel. Ah. Douglas, do come in.
Thank you, Helen. You're looking lovely this morning.
Thank you. Douglas, I'd like you to meet Jim's mother, Bess Robinson. Bess, this is Douglas Blake.
How do you do?
What a pleasure.
Douglas deals in art.
Well, if he's interested in your paintings, Helen, then he's a man of impeccable taste and great discernment.
I haven't seen these, have I?
No, I was just showing them to Bess.
That's nice. Yes, very nice.
We have an appointment with the gallery director at 9, so I think we'd better be going.
Oh, yes, of course.
We won't be long.
There's no need to hurry. I'll be home all day, so I'll be here when Lucy and Scott come home. And, you know, you can spend the entire day together.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Bess.
And if you want to take in a show or go to dinner, then not to worry. I'll be in charge all night.
Oh, I'm sure Douglas has other plans.
None that can't be put off to accommodate taking a talented and delightful artist to lunch, at least. Shall we go?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Oh, let me...
Thank you.
I'm glad you came over. You helped me understand there's more to marriage than I realised. I didn't mean to fight with Paul. I wanted him to stay with me, and it all just got out of hand.
And Paul probably just wanted you. You know, it's very easy to give and very hard to receive. It takes practice. And you really have to work at a marriage. It's a partnership. I didn't mean to cause any conflict between you.
Well, that's all right, Bess.
And Lucy and Scott will be home in a minute from school, and I promised Helen I'd be there for them. Now, are you all set for when Paul comes home tonight?
Yes, ma'am.
It'll work beautifully, you'll see.
Thank you.
Have a lovely evening with your husband.
The gallery's delightful, Douglas. I'm quite overawed by it.
Then don't be. I know art does generate a certain mystique, but as you're an artist, there's no need for you to feel intimidated.
Well, there's not much mystery about my paintings, apart from the fact that I've been able to collect a fair body of work between breakfast time and dinner.
I'm sure most women painters would agree with you. And that's why I admire you so much. You did do it, and your work's quite superb. It will only be seen in the best of places.
Douglas, I do appreciate the amount of time and energy you're taking on my behalf.
Well, it's an honor for me to be associated with you, Helen.
What about your other clients?
Oh, they can wait. I much prefer being in your company to theirs. You know, I was hoping we could take up Bess's kind offer and continue this conversation over dinner tonight, but unfortunately I can't. My sister and I have some business to discuss.
Some other time, perhaps.
Tomorrow night, for instance?
Yes, that'd be lovely.
I'm very reluctant to say this, but it is getting late and I must see you home.
Hi, it's me. I can see that. You feeling any better?
Much.
Oh, that's great. Did you and Paul make up?
Not exactly, but I've been talking to Bess.
She seems like a good lady.
Yeah, she's great. I really envy her.
You're not regretting being married already, are you?
Of course I'm not. Can I borrow some minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Daphne,
Yeah?
what would you do if someone you were once really keen on came back?
Is Shane bothering you?
No.
It's a pity Mark wasn't still around to thump some sense into him.
Did someone hit Shane?
Mark, that friend of Paul's. Well, Shane was making an absolute pest of himself, so Mark hit him.
You don't seem very upset about it.
No, I'm not. Well, Shane finds it really hard to let go. He's messed me around long enough. He's a nice enough guy, but he's not worth getting involved with.
So So is it all over between you two now?
Yeah. And if I was worried about it, I'd talk to Paul.
No, I don't think I want him to find out.
You better do it yourself then, hadn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. Now for my next question. How long does it take to cook Tornado's Rossini?
What?
Well, that's what I'm going to cook Paul tonight for a surprise. I'm going to wear my pink dress.
Do those socks match?
My pink dress, why?
Because they're stuck to your feet.
Hello, Mum.
Hello, dear. I've just been to see Terry and we had a long talk. And we chatted about how marriage isn't one long champagne breakfast and how it's something that continually has to be worked at.
I'm glad. What's wrong with you?
You win some, you lose some, I suppose. And I won. I got top marks for the essay competition.
Oh, my dear boy, how wonderful.
They said it was the best essay they'd seen in ages.
I knew you could do it.
You for Nana, how can I miss?
Oh, come and tell me what they said to you. With your talent, you couldn't have lost.
You know, Nana, there's so much material on your life, I could write a book.
Why don't you?
Oh, I couldn't.
Why not?
I don't know, maybe I'm not good enough.
If I didn't think you were good enough, I wouldn't suggest it. You're not afraid of hard work, are you?
Of course not.
Then do it.
Well, I could write some every day after school. After I finish my homework.
Of course.
It'd be an honour.
It'll be a bestseller.
Bess Robinson has managed to carve out a career for herself in a profession mainly dominated by men, despite the handicap of having a small child.
Yo, Terry, I'm home.
Paul, I'm glad you're home. I'm sorry about this morning.
Terry, I'd like you to meet somebody I work with, Stephanie Jackson.
Hi, just gave Paul a lift home.
Yeah, so I decided to bring her in to meet you.
That's nice.
What's wrong with you?
I thought we could have this evening by ourselves.
Terry, you said you were lonely, so I brought somebody home to talk to you.
Thanks a lot.
Lovely home, Paul.
When are you off to Munich, Stephanie?
Next week. Getting rather bored of Germany, so I thought I might swap a shift with Jude. See if I can't get to Edinburgh for the festival. You ever been out west, Terry?
No, I haven't been out west at all.
No, we plan to one day, though.
A bit tough on one income, though.
What do you do for a living?
You could say Terry's got a passionate interest in architecture.
Oh, you'd love Lawrence.
I'm a plumber.
Look, I'd better be going. I can see that you've got dinner all prepared
Yeah.
and I've got to get back and pack.
Thanks for giving me a lift home, Stephanie. So give my love to Graham and Jude, won't you?
Good night. Good night, Terry.
Good night, Stephanie.
Good one, Terry. You made her feel really welcome, didn't you?
What did you expect me to do?
Well, not freeze her out for a start.
Better get dinner ready.
Yeah, I'll light the candle. Promises to be a really fab evening, doesn't it?
It was just before 4 o'clock yesterday when the semi rolled in a street just a few blocks from the centre of Pittsworth. Its deadly load spilled, drums containing polyester
Hello,
resin,
sorry I'm late.
Oh, we managed beautifully. You could have stayed on.
Well, I would have, but Douglas had to see his sister about some business matter or other.
Did you manage to find a gallery for your exhibition?
Nope. The first one we looked at was quite unsuitable. Then we browsed through a few others, but they just didn't seem to have the right light or space.
He seems to be going to a lot of time and trouble over this, doesn't he?
Yes. That's what worries me.
Why?
Well, you see,
Well,
Bess,
for goodness sake, all you've done is lost an art gallery, but you've certainly won a most charming man. Wouldn't you say so, Jim?
Yes, certainly would seem so.
Did they tell you my great news, Gran?
Huh?
I got top marks in the essay competition.
Oh, that's wonderful!
What's even better is Nana's authorising me to do a biography.
Well, don't let it interrupt your homework, mate. You'll get it done first.
Come off it, Dad. Nana's life's far more interesting. I never would have won the competition if she hadn't shared it with me.
Scott, let's go and make some coffee, huh?
Okay. Anyone else want some?
Yeah, I'd love one, mate.
Oh, I'm so glad he got top marks. What he wrote was very, very good. Quite surprised.
Yeah, well, I haven't read it yet.
Don't you want to know what your mother's done?
I do know. I don't have to read about it. I grew up with her, remember?
Well, I think she's marvellous.
But if you want to know how marvellous she is, why don't you talk to Paul about it?
Can you pass the barbecue sauce, please, Terry?
Well, why bother to give me something to do tomorrow when you're away?
I'm
It's fine
sorry
by me
things
if
have
you don't
been
want
so
me to
bad.
work.
I just
I'm
want you to be
perfectly happy.
I love you, Terry. I just desperately want things to work out for us.
Do anything for you.
I love you.
And I love you.